Yeah, he's definitely a guy that we relied on last year a lot to carry our offense, and we'll do so again this year. He's a 19-year-old now, and he's obviously had a big year last year, so we expect more of the same from Riley. He's a guy that we rely upon to kind of play in all situations on our penalty kill, power play, 5-on-5, and he's a guy that can match up against top lines, but also not lose that offensive threat to his game as well. So he'll be a big piece of what we do this year. I don't think, and we've told Jonathan this, I don't think he needs to score 50 goals for it to be a successful season again, even though in his mind and other people's mind, that's probably the barrier they're looking for him to hit, or he's looking to hit again after doing it last year. But it would be great if he did, but I mean, he can still be successful getting 35, 40, 45 goals, and rounding out his game in other areas too. He's worked hard at it, the skating and different stuff that he's worked hard at, and it's kind of showing now. He's a more complete player, I think, than he was last year, and he'll be a huge part of our team this year. We'll be in a wait-and-see mode with Greg. Obviously, being drafted, it does change things a little bit. So he'll go to Florida's camp, and I'm sure they'll watch him closely to see how he does and see if he earns himself a contract. We'll have to see. That ball is not really in our court, I guess you could say. It'll be up to Florida to decide what the next step is for Greg. We'd obviously love to have him back, and he would be a huge piece of our team. But we're also a development league, and understand if these guys can go up and play pro and sign a contract, then that's our job to get them there, and that would be a success story for us as well. So he's a guy that drives play with his speed and skill. Huge point total last year. And again, just like Riley and Jonathan, we'd expect him to be a big, huge piece of our team if he is returned to us. He's going into his third year now. He's not really a young guy anymore, so he needs to take that next step as an NHL drafted player and show that he's an elite defenseman in our league. He's obviously a shutdown defensive guy, but I think in our level he can also chip in some offense as well and be a two-way player. So we're expecting him to be kind of our rock back there and match up against top lines and other top players around the league. We should have a pretty good D-core this year, I think, and he'll be right at the top of that group. He does everything well. There really is not a ton of weakness in Donovan's game. He skates well. He's smart. He can provide offense. He can defend. He plays physical. He plays hard. He's got a bit of a mean streak. So he's a very well-rounded player. I think he's a really underrated player in our league. I know a lot of other players got recognition or all-rookie votes and all-rookie team and things like that. He was kind of left off that group, but I think his best hockey's still ahead of him. He's an underrated player that's only going to get better, and I think by the time the year is done, there's going to be an NHL team really happy with selecting him come June. Being a 19-year-old now, he's played many games, many minutes, and we're going to rely on him to be solid for us, and which I think will only help his game as well and make his life easier. So we're really excited to add him, and he's going to be a huge piece of the puzzle for us here. I think how well we do will hinge on how those 01s, Stepien and Petizian, and then the 02s, guys like Vlad, Langdon, McDonald, Serpa, even our 03s with Pinelli and Fishman and guys like that. There's some ice time to be had in that top 6, top 9 group, and we're really interested to see who steps in and takes that. To win in our league, you need talent. That's the bottom line, and I think we do have a lot of good high-end talent. And it'll be up to those other guys if we can piece together 1 or 2 more guys in that category to give us 4, 5, 6 guys that we consider high-end talent guys in our league, and I think that'll go a long way to getting us to where we want to go.